Well, Growers Edge, I think, has made us more money by allowing me to survey the local bids that I'm in the area that I want to sell my grain. The local elevators and the ethanol plants know that this information is out there, so they've got to be competitive if they want to get the grain. You know, we've been able to maximize our return on our farm.
Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. It's October 18th, 2013. To my right is Cody Bills and I'm Brock Schimmerl. A relatively quiet trade for corn and soybeans. Wheat really moved sharply to the upside, however. Let's turn over to Fire Tip to see how we ended. Corn was down 1.5 cents, soybeans off 2 cents. Wheat in Chicago up 19 3/4, and Kansas City wheat was up 19 3/4 as well. You know, Cody, we did see a pretty quiet trade for corn and soybeans again, but wheat really skyrocketed to the upside.
Yeah, seemed to be real fireworks over there in the wheat complex. One of the main reasons was because the Agricultural Ministry of Argentina actually revised their forecast for wheat production from 12 million metric tons down to 8.8 million metric tons. If that is the case, they're really not going to have a lot to export. That's one of the reasons we've seen Brazil in the export market purchasing some of our wheat in the past here. I think this really kind of surprised the market here relative to what the USDA forecasted in last month's WASDE report. And I think, you know, this is a reason why we could see wheat move a little bit higher. Today we got over $7. That was a key level. It was a resistance level, and I think once we got over $7, we saw a little bit of technical unwinding there. But it was nice to see that it consolidated throughout the majority of the day, and then near the end of the day it pushed higher, closing out about on its highs. To me, I think that there's a good chance we could move a little higher. We have some other fundamentals in the wheat market. We have Canada possibly having a strike on their rail line, and that could push some sales. That slow movement from their wheat to the ports, that could push export sales on the U.S. book. So there is some bullish fundamentals out there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a continuation here early next week. Keep in mind, we do have the 200-day moving average hanging over us at 714. I think that will offer up some resistance, but I wouldn't be surprised if we are able in the next month or so to push up toward around that 742. It's the 38% retracement from this big sell-off that we've seen in wheat.
You know, the dollar index actually sold off just a little bit here again today. That's definitely supporting the wheat prices over the last couple of days. But when looking at wheat prices, I'm kind of concerned that we haven't really been able to tap into and be competitive with the Black Sea region as of yet. We haven't gotten any tenders going to Egypt for quite a long time now. So I'm wondering, you know, if we are going to see more export sales, are we going to continue to miss out on some of those going into the Middle East region?
You know, I think you're right. You know, there is the possibility that we find some resistance right up around that 200-day moving average if we're not able to make these sales. But keep in mind, the export sales are going to be coming out later on, about well, next Thursday. We have 3 weeks of export sales that need to be reported. So that export sales report is going to be very critical. It's going to be watched. And the expectations right now for the last 3 weeks is for wheat to have about 1.55 million metric tons, mostly due to some of wheat buying from Brazil. For corn, expectations for the last 3 weeks, somewhere around 2.24 million metric tons. And then for soybeans, around 2.86 million metric tons. So those are the expectations. They were supposed to come out here on Friday today, but they had technical problems. It looks as though they're going to be releasing it next Thursday. Brock, one thing that we did get today was Informa numbers. They were talking about planted acreage. What did you see over there?
Yeah, we did get some estimates made by Informa about the 2014 acreage, and as we head into winter, we always like to think of that as kind of the acreage battle time period. But what we saw from Informa today, if we take a look at this table here, is that they actually decreased their anticipated corn acres by 1 million acres. Soybeans got increased by about 300,000 acres, and all wheat got moved up by about 1 million acres as well. And I think a lot of the reason for soybeans and wheat to actually gain some of those acres away from corn is really the price movement that we've seen over the last month or so. We've seen wheat really rally in relation, especially to corn, but we've seen soybeans and wheat both move higher compared to what corn has done over the last month or so. So, you know, when thinking about the acreage battle and down the line, what we're going to be seeing next year planted, you know, we're going to have to keep our eyes on what soybean acres are anticipated and what wheat acres are anticipated. looks like it from Informa that we're going to get a pretty large increase of the wheat acres right now.
Well, it seems as though we had fireworks to finish off the week here in wheat, but next week we're going to be focusing very much on those export sales reports, so pay close attention to them. That wraps up today's show. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, give us a call at 877-472-4607. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Our handle there is @GrainTV. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you here next week.